Okay, I'd like to call the Board of Selectmen regular meeting to order on April 14th, 2026 at 7:30 p.m. The Shove Conference Room. Just really quick, I'd like to go through on the table here and just introduce each other. I'm Paul Zolpa for Selectmen.
I'm Karen Reddington Hughes, Selectman.
I'm Richard Coates, Selectman.
I'm not talking.
Okay, you don't have to talk. Okay, please rise and for the Pledge of Allegiance. And Richard, do you want to lead us today?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay, we'll start with the first Selectmen's report. Our town attorney has completed his review on the proposed Pomperog MOU. This is for the Three Rivers study. His feedback was shared with Carol Haskins late last week, and we're now awaiting their response, and we'll update the board as soon as we hear back. If you've been to the Heskey Bridge recently, you probably noticed that the roadway has been fully paved. I actually just drove by there about an hour ago, and it looks fantastic. They've got the green down. It looks like the only thing that's left in there is to put in the guide rails. Right now, DOT is still telling us that the completion date is May 15th, 2026. But based on the progress they've made, I wouldn't be surprised to see that items wrapping up ahead of schedule. Along those lines, the two-speed tracking devices that we put on Bear Hill Road are helping us to better understand the traffic patterns and vehicle speeds due to the detour. Between March 30th and April 12th, a total of 7,045 vehicles passed the sign located at 38 Bear Hill Road, which monitors the traffic traveling from Route 317 towards Transylvania. Of those vehicles, approximately 15% were traveling above 31 miles an hour, with 6 vehicles recorded at speeds over 40 miles an hour. During that same time period, 5,706 vehicles passed the sign at 72 Bear Hill Road, measuring traffic heading from Transylvania towards Route 317. On that side, 4.34% of the vehicles were traveling above 31 miles an hour, with only 1 vehicle exceeding 35 miles an hour. So we'll continue to monitor the traffic conditions there. Hopefully that will resolve itself as soon as the bridge opens. But if we will continue to evaluate, and if we need to take any additional steps there, we will do that. We held our second meeting with the labor attorneys this week, and we reviewed the current labor contracts. Overall, they're in really good shape, although there's some updates that will be needed due to statutory changes that have occurred over the last 3 years. We're continuing these discussions, and we expect to have a proposed schedule to share at the next Selectmen's meeting, and I'll keep the board informed as this process moves forward. Renovations have begun on the bathroom facilities at the Hollow. The men's and ladies' restrooms are being renovated first, and then construction of the family bathroom will begin once the work on those two are completed. The fence installation at the Stomsky Preserve was completed last week. Unfortunately, it was noted that the gate installed was only 12 feet wide rather than the revised requirement of a 16-foot gate. So now Mike Lowe cannot get any of his tractors through there. The correct gate is scheduled to be installed later this week, and we've been in contact with Mike, and this adjustment is not expected to impact his planting schedule. This Thursday, the renovation team will begin removing shrubs and trees at the Soldiers Monument South Green starting at 8 a.m. Plans are in place to remediate the soil to better support a healthy plant growth, and new plantings will take place over the next few weeks. Please keep an eye on our social media channels and the town website for updates. If you have any questions, feel free to contact the First Selectman's office. On April 1st, our full-time town employees began using Microsoft Teams to enhance workflow and streamline internal communication. This step also sets the foundation for expanded use of Teams live meeting capabilities. We've begun testing live streaming functionality and will continue evaluating its potential in future meetings. No update at this time on the transition from the .org domain to .gov. At the last meeting, I mentioned that we had received the tentative approval for a cybersecurity grant. However, since we have not received any additional correspondence, we're going to wait before making a final decision on the appropriate Microsoft licensing path. Street sweeping is continuing with our Public Works team following the schedule posted on the town website. Pothole repair is ongoing, but will go into full swing once the street sweeping is complete. This week is Dispatchers Week, and I'd like to take a moment to say thank you to our dispatchers for the calm professionalism, dedication, and critical support they provide every day. Their work behind the scenes is essential for public safety, and we're grateful for all that they do to our community, for our community. During the month of March, the fire department responded to a total of 33 dispatches. These included 3 fires, 2 brush fires, and 1 vehicle fire, along with 12 hazardous situations, 7 public service calls, and 11 non-emergency calls. The department would like to remind residents that the current fire danger level is high and that open burning is not permitted. The police department handled 315 calls for service during the month of March. The detailed call breakdown report runs about 1 month behind, so the most recent available data is for February, during which there were 287 calls for service. These included 140 officer-initiated activities, 23 alarms, 16 medical assists, 96 patrol checks, 40 citizen assists, 14 accidents, 25 non-LAH traffic stops, which basically means that these were not enforcement actions. These were during their patrol. 3 domestic incidents, 2 OUI arrests, 1 assault, 1 larceny, 16 suspicious incidents, and 1 untimely death. The Woodbury Ambulance Association has begun providing regular summaries to their calls for service. For the month of March, ambulances were dispatched to a total of 104 calls, averaging approximately 3.5 calls per day. It's crazy. The library's Wild Wild West Gala was held last Saturday, so you guys can no longer hear me going yippee-ki-yay and stuff. No more cowboy hats. It was a fun, well-attended event for everyone that was involved. And finally, a few items for planning. This Saturday, April 18th, the Board of Selectmen will hold a strategic plan workshop from 8 to 10 in the Shove Conference Room. The goal of this workshop is to begin developing an actionable 5-year strategic plan to guide the town towards its long-term objectives. This Monday, April 20th, I want to remind everyone that the Woodbury Town Meeting will be held at 7 p.m. at the Senior Community Center. It's important for all registered voters to attend, as several conveyances will be considered and the proposed budget will be moved forward to referendum. The budget referendum is scheduled for May 5th from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m., and it's also going to be held at the Woodbury Senior Community Center. Also on April 20th at 1 p.m., please join our first selectman, Paul Zolpa, and the chair of the Board of Finance, Karen McWirt, for an informal meet and greet at the library to talk about the upcoming town budget and anything else that may be on your mind. Learn what's proposed, ask questions, share ideas, and raise topics important to you in a relaxed community setting. If you can't make that date, we will be hosting a repeat on April 23rd at 6 p.m., also in the library gallery. Woodbury Park and Rec will be holding Woodbury's 2026 Earth Day celebration on Saturday, April 25th from 11 to 4 at the Hollow Park. Known as Connecticut's largest Earth Day celebration, full event details are available on the Parks and Rec webpage, and we encourage everyone to help spread the word. April 25th is also National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. in front of the police department. This event helps prevent prescription drug misuse and accidental poisonings by safely removing unused medications from homes, while also protecting the environment through proper disposal. Save the date for an American 250 event on Saturday, May 2nd at 3 p.m. at Nonnewauk High School. The community is invited to attend a free concert by the 30-member Imperial Brass Ensemble, conducted by Robert Wax Norris and sponsored by the Leroy Anderson Foundation. Titled American We, the program will feature patriotic favorites and music by the Woodbury's own Leroy Anderson, along with works by George Gershwin, Rodgers and Hammerstein, Harry Fillmore, Adrian Drover, and John Philip Sousa. From June 11th through June 13th, Woodbury Public Library will host a Pomperaug Valley Garden Club flower show, Historic Woodbury in Bloom. The show will be open to the public and held in the library's gallery. And finally, an America 250 event will be held at the Woodbury Public Library on Saturday, July 11th at 1 p.m. Town Tree Warden Bud Neal and First Selectman Paul Zolpa will unveil a special bench crafted from wood descended from Connecticut's original charter oak. Immediately following the ribbon cutting, attendees are invited to the gallery for refreshments and to view the Treasures of Woodbury, a special collection of town-owned art and memorabilia. Guests will also have the opportunity to purchase their own piece of charter oak history and other America 250 merchandise. That is my report. Richard.
You want to go first?
Oh, you go first.
We're going to switch it up.
Yeah.
We'll go like once a month, we'll go one and then the other. How's that?
Okay, so let's start with grants. I I submitted a grant an application for a grant through the Senate fiscal year 27 appropriations through Murphy and Blumenthal's office to partially cover the cost of replacing the old town hall roof and shutters and the roof and windows at the rec house. If we get it, and of course we may not get it, but if we get it, it could cover up to half of the cost of doing that, which is approximately $210,000. Half the cost is $210,000. So that's the good news. We got that grant in. It's disappointing that the TRIP grant didn't work out for Crossy Park Road. I think we need to learn some lessons from that in terms of getting ahead of the game in terms of preparing at least outline grants and getting an idea for the outline applications, getting an idea for the costs, particularly for these sort of recurring grants, right, that come up. We know they come up every year.
Right.
We need to get ahead of the game for that. Next topic is what happened to the energy audit that we're doing for town buildings? Did we do that?
Not yet. We're waiting for Ed McGrath to return from medical leave. He is due to come back at the end of April, and then we'll bring in those guys.
Yeah. Next topic is I've received reports of bears demolishing the Spruce Bank trash containment facilities. I think it's in part because people are putting food in their trash, which is, people do. It's also because one of the bears was living in a derelict house next to the property.
Right.
Which the person who was coming up there to, I think they're going to demolish that house or rehab it, found the bear inside.
I went over there, yeah.
So that was, should have gave him a shock. The bear was probably quite surprised too.
Right. So are they actually going to continue the demolition on that, or they got to scare the bear out of the place?
I don't know exactly which order things are going to happen.
Okay.
I have not
Hopefully they scare the bear out first before they try and demolish.
Yeah.
Is there porridge involved?
But I mean, literally the house is here and,
Wow.
And the trash.
and the trash is here.
Yeah.
So it's pretty cool
Smorgasbord.
place for a bear to live. Hybrid meeting, we talked about that. We didn't talk about it more. A number of people have asked me about two issues relating to speeding and police. One person asking if we could have at least the new police vehicles marked more visibly with Woodbury police on the side, so people could know they were out and about. So that's one topic. A different topic is somebody was asking about having speed cameras in town. Interestingly, this was one member of a husband and wife couple, both of whom managed to get speeding tickets in Middletown within the same week, so that they both got tickets before they received the notice that they were getting tickets. But as I understood it, they still think it was a good idea to have speed cameras in town. So just reporting that.
Okay.
And that's everything.
Great. Thank you.
Well, I would absolutely have to agree on the marking of the police cars, because I've been brought that up several times before, that people do complain and say that they really feel as though that less people would be speeding if they had the presence of a car that had Woodbury police on it. I had a couple of people who had approached me about whether we were having a tax sale, which I didn't know about, but I did find out information that on June 18th at the Old Town Hall at 5 Mountain Road, there will be tax sales of delinquent tax properties. There are 4 on the docket right now. And my suggestion would be that we actually put a press release out there in the newspaper, because the last time we did something like this, we had a company called Transon that did this for us, and it really was not well publicized. And I really had a lot of people that came up to me later that were very disappointed that they didn't know anything about what was going on with this and would have gladly put bids in for much more than they had received. So I think that, we need to really have some transparency in what we're doing, and, make sure that everybody knows about it. But that would be my suggestion on this, because I know there are other towns that do put press releases out. And when it comes time for these tax auctions, they do get a fairly, good crowd of people as a result of that. Because we're looking at, our town is the one who would lose out if that doesn't occur.
Just for the record, I would strongly agree with that. That seems like a very obvious, excellent idea.
So, and that's my report.
Okay, very good. Privilege of the floor. The Board of Selectmen will recognize citizens who are asked to state their name and address, and to please limit comments to 3 minutes or less. Up to 20 minutes of statements per topic will be allowed. All comments should be addressed to the first selectman, and decorum will be enforced. Yes, Bert.
Bert Stevens, 29 Orton Lane. I rise one to thank Deb for her years of service. And I may not be at the next meeting, so I know it's her second to last meeting, not her last meeting. But to thank her for her years of service and to wish her well in her retirement. And hope it's filled with joy and fulfillment.
Thank you, Bert.
I also take notice of what Paul just read about the Board of Selectmen restricting comments to 20 minutes per topic. I object to that as a resident of Woodbury because that limits residents of Woodbury who don't have the opportunity. That limits it to 7 minutes, or I'm sorry, 7 members of Woodbury, residents of Woodbury, to talk. And I think that that should be considered. I also do agree with the decorum of speaking through the first selectman, but not to the first selectman. I think comments should go, if you will, through the first selectman to anyone that a person thinks that they should be addressing appropriately. Those are my 2 comments. Thank you.
Thank you.
I kept it to 3 minutes.
Yes, Suzanne?
Hi, Suzanne Lovig, Arrowhead Way. Karen, I just had a quick question about what you were just saying about the tax sale. What
Yes.
was the date on that again?
The tax sale is June 18th, and you can go to cttaxsales.com for more information. It is listed on our town website under the tax collector, but if you don't know about the sales, then you're never going to get there.
Okay, great, thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyone else?
Tom
Tom.
Evers, Main Street South. Just perhaps you noticed, I think it was this past Wednesday, they had the listings for Southbury for the tax sale and legal notices. Pretty extensive, but that was noticeable. But if you're just doing 4, it won't even compete in that arena.
So I believe that there is a legal requirement to publish all the tax. So the tax sales will be.
But that just justifies another way of presenting it to where the people
Sure.
will see it.
Yep.
You can always put a sandwich sign on.
There you go. Well, usually I believe also what happens is on the Boyd building, on the windows of the Boyd building when you're going in, they also put the properties that are going up on tax auction. So there are some that are around here. But Karen's comments are noted. We will we'll look at least getting it through a press release, but also getting it onto social media so that everyone knows. Anyone else? Lisa.
Lisa Peters, 155 Good Hill Road. To your list of July activities, could you please add the public reading of the Declaration of Independence?
Yep.
10 o'clock in the morning outside the show building. And it will be, everyone is welcome, and Mr. Schlicker will be doing the reading again.
Excellent.
Great.
July 4th.
Thanks. Oh, okay.
10 a.m.
July 4th.
Yeah.
I think it's a Saturday this year.
Okay.
Or is it a Friday?
And the other thing I just realized as I was reading through that I neglected to mention our Memorial Day Parade, which is also very important, which is going to be May 25th. I believe they step off
Sunday,
May
24th.
24th. That's right. The 25th is Memorial Day. So the 24th, and I think they step off at 2 p.m. Right. Okay. So we will add that to my my list. Anyone else? No other comments? Okay. Thank you. Correspondence, we have none. Next is minutes. Karen, you want to go?
Oh, sure. I move to approve the minutes of the regular meeting of March 24th, 2026 as presented.
Second.
Okay, any discussion, comments, corrections, modifications?
Perfection.
There we go. Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved.
Move to approve the minutes of the special meeting of April 2nd, 2026 as presented.
Second. Any discussion, corrections, modifications? That was a long one.
Yeah.
Okay, hearing none. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Okay, next is the bid awards, donations. Okay,
No bid awards. I'm just saying that for you.
thank you.
No bid awards.
Oh, I just said that.
Oh, I didn't hear you.
Yeah, no bid awards.
Didn't hear it.
All right, so we missed the motions for the donation, so I will be making these two. So I move to accept with gratitude a donation of $1,000 from the Woodbury Lions Club for Park and Rec Summer Camp sponsorship.
I'll second the motion.
Hey, any discussion? I think it was a very generous donation from the Lions Club. We do appreciate that. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. Next, I move to accept with gratitude a donation of $1,000 from Judy Duran of the Charcoal Chef for the Park and Rec Ed sponsor.
I'll second that.
Okay, so I'd like to read a statement that she provided with this. Because I am writing as a longtime owner of the Charcoal Chef. I know that by now everyone has learned that the chef has been officially sold and will within the next few months open as Barbecue Americana. I hope that my devoted customers will be patient and give the new owners a try. It won't be the same, but time marches on, and I know that Jeff and Nicole will be a great addition to Woodbury. Their other restaurants have been well received. Look for the opening and stop in and meet them. I want to thank all of our loyal customers and most of all my fantastic staff of almost 70 years of business. I'm always happy to see people that I know from work while I'm around town now that I'm retired and have the time to enjoy myself. My family could not have gotten as far as we did without the support of Woodbury and all the surrounding area. So again, thank all the customers. I thank all the customers who have come through our door and all the staff, past and present. I miss you all. Raise a glass and have a chef still drink and remember all the good times, and I hope we will have many more to celebrate. Thank you, Judy Duran. Yeah, thank you, Jody. That was a very generous donation to our Park and Rec. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. And finally, just want to acknowledge a donation of $1,000 from S&S Paving for the Soldiers Memorial or Soldiers Monument South Green renovation. So that went directly into our special revenue fund, and we don't need to accept that donation. Okay. Next, appointments. So we have an appointment for an application for the Ad hoc Arts and Culture Committee. Richard, do you want to make this motion?
Move to appoint Lorianne Witt to the Ad hoc Arts and Culture Committee with a term ending November 30th, 2027.
I will enthusiastically second that.
Very good. I think I've known Lorianne for many, many years. Her daughter and my son went to school together. And my son's Eagle Scout project was done over there. So, we've got a long relationship with her. I think she'd be an outstanding addition to the Arts and Culture Committee.
I do as well.
Very good.
Been with the Chamber of Commerce since we founded it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Excellent.
I'm going to support based upon your recommendation, but could we make a point of getting the application
I'm sorry.
information to,
Yes, sorry, they didn't have that.
to us?
Okay, they didn't have that until, okay. Sorry, our apologies. We'll make sure that that gets out.
This is standard on the pressure,
Okay.
just so you know.
We'll fix that we'll fix that in the first week of May. How's that?
Absolutely. I'll leave it in my notes.
There you go. Okay. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. That's
Guys
it
are gonna have
for
fun.
those.
No.
Old business. So on the, I don't have a lot to add on the budget. We did hold a meet and greet. Karen McWhort, the chair of the Board of Finance, and I held a meet and greet April 10th at the Senior Center. We had about 24 folks that attended. It was a great session. I've received a number of compliments for clear understanding of what's going on with the budget. The fact that there's a lot of things that are not negotiable, they're absolutely required. So I think they got a clear understanding of what's there. So, and again, I had mentioned during my minutes there, or my report, that we do have 2 more scheduled like that, and April 20th at 1 p.m. in the library, and then April 23rd at 6 p.m. So I'd encourage everyone to come. And by the way, you two are more than welcome to come in as well, if you so desire. Okay, new business. Discussion and possible action on the recommendation to the Board of Finance to use a portion of the opioid settlement funds for automated external defibrillators. And I believe I thought that Janet would be here. So just for your information, Stryker had come to visit us and had shown that we've been getting funds from the opioid settlement, and we've been getting those since 2022. They're slated for some very specific things. It's mainly around opioid education, prevention, and things like that. Stryker had shown that we can actually buy defibrillators, because that's considered, kind of a post addiction action. And also tasers are also included, because they're non-lethal ways of trying to control somebody that is having issues with opioid. So we are going to move forward. That will actually be a motion that comes off the floor. I think that we're just basically, just to make you aware, that we're going to be taking that forward. And so it's about $82,000. We have $117,000 in the account right now, and it's about $84,000. So what it will cover is all of the AEDs that will go into the police cars. By the way, those AEDs that are in our police cars are 17 years old.
Yeah.
So the lifespan of those is supposed to be 6. But they're 17, and one of the things the Stryker is going to do is they're actually going to take those old AEDs back, and we're actually going to get a $250 credit for each one that we turn in. So it's not just going into landfill. The other thing that we will be doing is we'll be buying a AED monitor. I'm not sure the model number, but we are going to buy that for the Woodbury Ambulance Association. Woodbury Ambulance is replacing one of their ambulances at no cost to the town, and it should be coming in sometime in the 3rd quarter. So we agreed that we would pay for this monitor. The monitor will do AED activity, but it also monitors heart, it monitors oxygen, and it has telemetry so that it can communicate directly with the hospitals. So I think it's a good investment. And then also the tasers, the first year of our taser, we're going to be able to take that out of capital improvement and utilize the opioid settlement. We are going to continue to get money. I believe the money will continue to flow in through 2038. The plan is we'll take that and we'll actually use that money to maintain our units. The consumable parts like the pads and things like that, we'll use the opioid funds for those types of things. But those will be coming forward, and they'll be coming forward to us as we go through. But because these are capital items, they're going to need to go to the town meeting to cover those.
I believe
Okay.
that we used to donate some funding to ASAP. Is that still going to occur?
I'm not sure. We looked at where the
Mhm.
funding was going, and basically all the money was coming in and nothing was actually flowing out. So I'm
Oh.
not sure.
Huh.
I can go
Yeah.
back in and I'll take a look
Yeah.
at that. But I know when I asked Nairi,
Mhm.
where's this money being spent? Because I wasn't even aware that the money was coming in. All of a sudden, just like
Right.
they said, oh, here's
Yeah.
$117,000. It's like, where did this come from? So
Yeah. Yeah.
she knew where it was, but she didn't know
Did,
where it was
yeah.
getting spent
I would
for.
just
So
check that out. I mean, I just have some foggy recollection of funding being, because that's what they're all about is,
Yes.
helping people with, addiction.
okay.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
I must admit, coincidentally, I got an email, I'm sure you all got an email today about this organization, the Regional Behavioral Health Priorities. Did you get this?
I don't think so.
Which, I haven't had the time to look into it. It's focused on mental health, gambling, suicide, substance
Mhm.
misuse. So, since that
Mhm.
seems to overlie very closely with what this money, as
Yeah.
I understand it, it's for, I think might be worth, before we make that decision,
Mhm.
ensuring that that really is the best way to proceed.
Okay.
Yeah. And I would ask for perhaps ASAP to come in and to explain like how, their local presence is felt in Woodbury. They're the ones that really do the drug take back and, are involved in all of that.
Okay. Very good.
Excuse me, Paul. So
Yeah.
you're saying that this expenditure will come up at the town meeting on Monday?
Yes.
Okay.
So it'll be
But not
it'll be
tonight,
raised
because
off the
it's not
floor.
appropriate for you guys to-
No, because it's really because it's going to be a capital expenditure. It could be raised off the floor. Okay. Next item. Anything else before I move on to that?
Yep.
Okay. Next item is discussion of possible action on the request to use town roads for the Pat Grishka's 40th annual triathlon. So you should have a copy.
No, is
Oh.
there anything meaningful in that packet? I mean, no, they didn't get a copy of it.
Okay. Again, apologies. So we actually brought this up, I
Yeah,
believe a couple.
We did. You showed us the route before.
Right, in the route before, and the reason why we didn't take action on it was because this is actually occurring the same day as the graduation, and we weren't sure whether the police were going to be able to cover both. Police did respond back to us, and they said that they can't cover both.
Oh, good.
So,
In fact, Robin reports that most years it is on the same day as graduation, and
Okay.
nobody would ever know because the bikes are long gone before
anybody
even
goes
thinks about
down
graduation. Yeah.
minor town. Okay. So I looked at all of the road race checklist. This was the George Hale
Mhm.
official road race checklist. Everything is checked off. The race, the time is 7 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. The proper insurance is attached. There'll be approximately 200 participants. The event organizers, the roads to be used will be Route 64 to Tuttle Road, then White Deer Rocks Road. And then the roads to be closed, there's soft closure of Old Waterbury Road and none others are needed. The contact information is Tom Wilkus. He's the race director. The coordination with local police has already been initiated. And then the safety of the racers and residents have been taken into account. Middlebury Fire Rescue boat will be on the water. Middlebury Ambulance will be on site at Quasi. So everything else
And I
is
believe we'll have public works guys out there earning overtime to make sure they don't bump into people heading into the transfer station.
Yep.
And Wilkes pays for that.
okay. Great. Any questions on that?
No.
Okay, so I'd make a motion to accept the.
This one I wrote. You have a
Yeah,
motion.
okay, we do have a motion. All right. Richard, do you want to call that one out?
Please, Hayward.
Move to approve the use of town roads for the 40th annual Pat Griskus Olympic Triathlon, Saturday, June 20th, 2026, beginning at 6:45 a.m. and affecting Tuttle Road in Woodbury.
I'll second that.
Okay, any discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? So moved. Richard?
No transfer.
No transfers?
I'm sorry, no transfers.
Move to adjourn.
Thank you much. Thanks, everybody.
That it?
I feel like I'm the slacker that was doing the adjourn stuff.
It's a tradition. Think of it as